Oh no, more horses.
This is one of Reverend Cy Hallelujah's horses, or so you've heard. One of Reverend Cy's horses is out frolicking in the spring sun. Well, maybe it's not frolicking exactly. Reverend Hallelujah's horses mosey around in his corral. Don't open the corral. You'll let the horses out. The horse is humming "Don't Fence Me In" and doesn't care to be petted. The horse is too far back from the fence for you to touch.
We can always climb over.
Here, Horsey! Here, Horsey!
The horse seems to be saying, "Here" meaning what? Here meaning if I come over there I'll get a patronizing pat on the nose for my trouble? I smell no carrots on you. I smell no lumps of sugar. Forget you.
Here, Horsey, Horsey, Horsey!
There's no response. Maybe he's too hoarse to talk right now. The Robertson Cliffs overlook the thick, beautiful, shimmering waters of Blackwater Creek. The old bridge still offers shaky access to the desert to the west. The rusty tracks of the Fish Camp and Pacific Railroad used to continue across the trestle here and wend their way to exciting, far-off places like Fresno. The train doesn't come here anymore ever since the trestle collapsed and the train sunk into the swamp. No more lumber shipments, no more ice deliveries, no more personal hygiene products. You wonder why the waters of Blackwater Creek are so black and gooey and disgusting.
There is a slight black gooiness to this river.
Wouldn't it be nice to trail your hand lazily in the cool waters of Blackwater Creek? No, it wouldn't, because the currents would lazily rip your arm off. You slide your hand back and forth across the rusty tracks, getting a little rust burn in the process. Phew. That was a close one. Considering the condition of this old bridge, you may only have about 3 crossings left.
This was one of the reasons why I decided not to explore this area during my first time around Course Gold, but it turns out that it's just japes. This is a reference to one of the King's Quest games, and right now, which number it is eludes me.
It's the old bridge. The only thing that keeps this bridge out of the river's mouth is polygrip. But that's the piece that holds together the entire bridge. Well, actually it's not, but you were really scared there for a second, huh? You weren't?
Right, let's go and find out how close these snails actually are. Pretty close.
The majesty of the painted desert stretches out into infinity, seemingly lasting forever, yet going nowhere at all. It's like life in coarse gold.
Oh, the snails seem to be very silent right now.
These snails are the leading edge of a stampede of imported French escargots recently escaped from a haughty San Francisco restaurant, being chased by a posse of snooty San Francisco chefs. They appear to stretch to the horizon, and they're heading straight for town. If you don't do something soon to prevent them, they'll slime the entire city.
We can always try to pick them all up.
You grab a couple of snails from the front of the pack while imagining the aroma of warm, drawn butter. Some splendid saguaro cacti dot the countryside. You're not thirsty for cactus juice right now. As far as the eye can see, the landscape is filled with rocks, and not much else. There's no need to touch that. The local insect population has been thriving, what with all the dry weather Coarse Gold's been having lately. This is one of the smaller ant hills around the town. Prickly pear cactus is one of your favorite examples of the species. Once, the fish camp and Pacific Railroad ran through here. But when their trestle washed out back in '73, they never got around to rebuilding it. It remains there today, a blatant assault on liability standards everywhere. You really have no desire to touch that ant hill, nor do you wish to further your entomologic collection at this time. You simply can't stand the thought of pricking yourself.
Now, I believe there isn't actually a time limit as such on how to complete this quest, as if I stay on the screen, they seem to just eternally rest in this area. But if I leave the screen and come back, they start to get closer and closer each time you re-enter the screen. Right. Helen back gave us a hint about using these beer bottles to lure these snails away.
You could try to kill all those snails by smashing each of them with your beer bottles, but it would take forever. However, they do look thirsty.
Well, we also have this key just here, which can act as a bottle opener. Okay, yeah, we have to use these the correct way.
The church key is solid and heavy and refuses to bend.
Of course, yes, we need to use the arrow key. So yeah, we need to use these objects the correct way around.
With muscles bulging from years of grappling with child-proof caps, you deftly wield the church key and wrench the tops from all the beer bottles.
Score! There we go.
You dip your little finger in one of the open bottles of beer and taste it. That hits the spot.
And now we can use the beer on the snails. I had to look this up, but apparently beer really does attract snails. The sweet yeasty smell attracts them, and apparently the ethanol kills them. So this is actually a real thing.
Hey, boys, it's Miller time!
And with that, you cleverly pour bottle after bottle of Sam Andreas's St. Louis brew into the dusty road in an attempt to divert the stampede. Will it work? Will the snails fall for your ruse? Will they accept a domestic? Slurping their little hearts out, if snails may be said to slurp, or to have hearts for that matter, the little guys follow your lead straight over to the cliff beside Blackwater Creek. Isn't that cute? They're so gullible. Don't they look just like little lemmings marching over that cliff?
Hi there?
Look out, Freddy. Injuns! No, wait. This one's an Indian. A real Indian. From India. He sits atop an ant hill surrounded by swarms of ants looking trapped. You feel sorry for him. If there were only some way you could help him.
yeah, it kind of segues from one scene to the next without really any warning. All we know is that there is a Indian man sitting on top of this anthill.
May I help you down?
While I appreciate your offer of help, I must remain here. I simply cannot harm an ant, and I can presently ascertain no effective means of dismounting this anthill without hurting another living creature.
Then how did he get up there in the first place? He must have had to crawl around these insects to actually sit on top of it. And surely he must be crushing something here as well.
Hello, stranger. I haven't seen you around these parts before. I know it's none of my business, but why are you sitting on top of an active anthill in the heat of this semi-desert sun?
Oh, my formal fellow, I am but a weary traveler from a land far, far away, journeying here peacefully merely to experience the curative powers of your local mineral waters. The other members of my stagecoach party, claiming a frustration with my excessive verbosity and sesquipedalian inclinations, forcefully placed me in my current sitting position on this lovely feature of your landscape, knowing full well that because of religious reasons I would be unable to climb down by myself.
How cruel those Yosemite-bound tourists are. My name is Freddy Pharkas. I own the local pharmacy here in Corsgold.
How do you do, Mr. Pharkas? My name is Srini Lalkaka Bagnish. Pardon me if I don't get up.
I've been considering taking on a loyal Indian sidekick. I'm seeking a new assistant down at the pharmacy. Would you be considering a relocation to this area? You know, Corsgold offers extremely reasonable housing costs and an abundance of sunny weather, and is close to schools and churches.
Well, no, not really. But yes, perhaps I would be willing, but as you can readily see, I'm quite busy at this current moment.
Have you considered climbing down and walking away?
I cannot possibly do that. Life is sacred. If I were to move, I should indubitably injure some of these small six-legged life forms. I'm sure someone will come along soon to the aid of me.
I'll see what I can do, Srini.
Why are we talking about taking on new staff? We do not have a business to run right now. We can help Srini down by using this ladder.
That just doesn't work like that.
Oh, okay.
The ladder might assist my situation. However, I am not in positioning to maneuver it thusly to facilitate escapage.
I was pretty certain we had to use this on the rock.
I've got it, Srini. I know how I can help you. Here you go, partner. Hoof your way across this.
Score! Oh, my balance sense is stretching now.
You made it!
Oh, thank you, Mr. P. You saved me.
Please don't call me that.
Thank you again, Mr. F. I am so much grateful.
Oh? Grateful enough to accept the assistant's position I mentioned earlier? I could really use some help around the shop.
I would be honored. Where do I begin?
So Freddy headed on back to the pharmacy, followed by the eternally grateful Srini Lakaka Bagnish. Seems like Freddy not only found himself a new assistant at the pharmacy, but also a good friend as well.
So as my assistant, I want you to help me around the store, clean up, you know, the usual chores.
Oh, I would be highly gratuitous of your bending over to display me such a position. Would you be offering as well a form of payment?
I'll pay you 10 cents a day and all the Rustler's Stove chocolates you can eat.
That is an agreement.
Excellent. What was your name again?
Srini Lakaka Bagnish. But you may call me Srini, and I will be calling you Freddy. Okay?
Okay, now let's get cracking, Srini. I'd like you to go out there and create some nice displays for the skin lotions. We may be closed temporarily, but we'll be opening sooner or later, and we've got to be ready.
What it is, Freddy. I will be getting on that now.
Welcome aboard, Srini.
Your faithful Indian companion, Srini, is hard at work preparing your store for its grand reopening. Someday soon, you hope.
I guess that it is good to remain optimistic.
You are giving me tickles.
Srini!
Dude!
Everything going okay in here?
What is it looking like? I am having everything under control. You have merely to go to be a hero and I will continue holding up the fort.
Thanks.
Alright, I guess we should go out and be a hero.
Mind the store, won't you, Srini? I'm off to uphold justice and stuff.
Okie the dokie.
As you have already seen, there are numerous goings-on about town. So let's go for a short walk.
Holy cow, you've never seen such a long line at the outhouse.
Something's rotten in the state of Coarsegold's bowels.
What is going on here?
This one appears to be practicing the jitterbug. How long can she wait? Not long if she keeps bouncing like that. He's really got to go. You haven't seen a line this long here since Mom served her famous chicken sushi with egg tartare.
Oh no, please.
The outhouse has a signature half-moon cutout. Wait your turn. It's just like at the bank. Other people want to make their deposits first. The engines are already at maximum reverse thrust, Captain. They're giving it all they've got. Don't touch him, Captain. He's liable to blow any second. I cannot tell how much more she can take, Captain. He's gonna explode, Captain, and neither you or I or anyone in the universe can stop it.
Say, do any of you guys know how to Madison?
Nobody's laughing. She can't hear you over the mighty roar of her lower gastrointestinal tract.
Hey, you guys, you feel okay?
The only response is a chorus of churning stomachs, roiling bowels, and floodgates straining to open.
What is that phrase again? There's something in the water? Or maybe there is something in the water.
You turn the faucet on and water gushes out. You coyly avoid a trip to the outhouse, but you refuse to carry that bottle around anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Score!
You carefully fill one of your empty beer bottles with water from the tower.
Yeah, it probably helps if I fill the bottle up first before I use it on Freddy.
You take a swig of the water from the water tower. Uh-oh. Your stomach starts to make strange sounds. Your small intestine begins to whine. Your lower intestine starts complaining loudly.
Hey, buddy, no cutting. It's people like you that give people like you a bad name.
Well, howdy, Mr. Pharkas. I was just leaving, I swear. Give me one more minute.
Perfectly okay, Billy. No need to get up. Just scoot over a little.
Well, Jeez, Mr. Pharkas, invade my personal space, why don't you?
A few moments later, you emerge feeling refreshed.
Gee, that water's got a nasty kick to it.
There is an entry for diarrhea in the medical guide. Diarrhea is caused by too many soft, liquidy foods finding their way into your digestive system. Unchecked, it can lead to dehydration. It may be cured quickly and cleanly by eating quantities of solid foods or foods with stiffening ingredients like pectin, such as fibrous breads, apples, cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower, etc. See bisalicylate antitoxidine. Alright, well, when we get back to the pharmacy, we will look at that for sure. But for now, let's go about town and speak to various people. I believe Penelope is not in the cafe anymore. But I'm not sure if she's in the schoolhouse again. No, let's head off. We need to go back and collect our ladder anyway.
Sheriff, I know you couldn't care less, but folks around town are having some sort of mysterious stomach ailment.
Well, guess the water in these parts is done gone sour. Ain't no surprise, really. It were bound to happen sooner or later. I figure those that don't die from the dysentery will just have to pull up stakes and find somewhere where the water's sweet.
I don't think that's it at all. I think somebody poisoned the water. If you were any kind of sheriff, you'd look into it.
Like you know anything about being a sheriff. Besides, I know the water ain't poison. I had some myself a while ago.
Really? Then why haven't you suffered as well?
Hey, congratulate me, Sal. I've got an assistant now.
So I hear. Now maybe you can do something about the town's water supply, eh?
One thing at a time. I'm on the case, okay?
I believe Woody has something to say this time.
The door swings open. From the back, you hear Chester's voice.
Help yourself. I'll be right out.
Oh, there's no more brown bags.
Willie, I got myself an assistant down at the pharmacy.
What in the Sam Hill you need an assistant for, kid? The sheriff done closed your butt down.
Well, I've been so busy helping people and stuff, and I was hoping to reopen the store soon, so I thought...
You thought, huh? Well, that's a first. Anyhow, that assistant might come in handy eventually. But for the time being, head on out to the outhouse and figure out what's going on out there. Seems like half the town's got the big-time runs.
The what?
I says, get!
Yes, sir.
Now get!
Whoa, what happened there?
Once the heart of a thriving business district, there's not much left of beautiful downtown Coarsegold now.
All right, slight misclick.
It's Ezekiel Andrew Washington Madison Johnson Hallelujah, the preacher's kid.
Say this again.
Jeez, buddy, get your hands off me. Well, I ain't got no time. I put peanut butter in the offering plate, and now my pa's after me. He said I was wasting good peanut butter.
Poor fella. It doesn't pay to pick a fight with Sam Andreas.
Are you okay there, chap?
You'd like to help him, but he is full of shards of glass, and you hate the sight of blood.
Then why are we in the pharmacy business?
There's no use talking to him. He's out cold.
Helen, have you ever thought of putting escargot on the menu?
Freddy won't say anything further until we give her the snails.
If you only had a few mushroom caps to go with these.
Huh! Don't know who around here will eat these since they don't give you gas, but I'll put them in a bag of cornstarch and think about it. And I suppose thank you is in order, so thank you. Score!
You are welcome.
Mom, where are all your customers?
Danged if I know. They all jumped up at more or less the same time and ran to the outhouse. It's not my fault, though. They hadn't even ate yet. Just had a glass of water and bam, they're gone. If you tell anyone about it, you're dead meat on the hook, boy.
That sounds fair. Hey, Hop Sing, don't serve any water till I've had a chance to check it out. I think something's up with the water supply.
No problemo. This California, we not serve water with meals unless customer beg.
That was quick.
Poor Sam Andreas. It's a good thing he waters down his whiskey so much, or else all his profits would be consumed by glaziers.
I'd like to shake your hand, Billy. You're doing a fine job.
He looks at you a little funny.
Don't you find it frustrating to keep replacing that plate glass, Billy?
No, I find it a real crack-up.
Why, it's Mrs. O'Hamahan and her darling little boy, Rocco. The last time they were in your shop, you only lost $17.39 in breakables. God willing, they won't be needing any prescriptions filled today. Obviously, she's a married lady, and that kid looks like he might bite.
Do I look like I have time for idle chit-chat? Honestly, some people think that just because a woman works at home, she has scads of free time. Well, let me tell you, I don't. I have the washing, the ironing, the cow to milk, the butter to churn, the barber shop to sweep out, the books to keep. Well, I could just go on and on and on. But as usual, I'm in too much of a hurry, and a lady never complains about her lot in life. Not that all the women round here are ladies, of course. Why, the stories I could tell you about some of these women. Not that I know any of them personally, of course, but one does hear talk round the barber shop, you know. But Really, I'm too busy to be standing around like this. Good day.
I'll find you later to find out some more of these stories.